Welcome back to From the Couch Sports. Back with another Today in Sports daily video. A lot of stuff happened last night in the NBA. Later at night, it was like 10:30, I want to say. We saw Isaiah Thomas signed a 1 year veteran minimum deal with the Nuggets. I mean, that's crazy value for a player who was probably going to get the max had he not gotten injured or traded. The year he had with the Celtics was amazing. He was an MVP candidate, and then last year he never really returned fully from injury. He didn't really mesh on the Cavs. He had a couple good games with the Lakers before he finished the year off on injured reserve. But I think that that's exactly what he needs to do to try to show people he can ball. He just needs to come back in on that 1 year deal, try to ball out for the Nuggets. I mean, he could fight for the starting position against Jamal Murray. And if he performs, then next year he'll be looking at a bigger contract. Then we had a couple trades going on. The Nuggets ended up trading Kenneth Faried, Darrell Arthur, a 2019 first, and a future second to the Nets just for his Isaiah Whitehead. But they were able to clear up $21 million in cap. So I know they gave up a first rounder, but I think that is a pretty good trade. Um, they're gonna definitely. Last year they were like a game away from the 8th seed. I think this year they're gonna be pushing for it. I know this year we're gonna have the Lakers involved, so it's gonna kind of push some teams back. But I think there's a lot of things that can happen. I think that the Nuggets could be a potential 6, 7, 8 seed in the playoffs next year. I like the addition of Michael Porter Jr. and Isaiah Thomas he's a good player. I think he can get buckets. So I like that. Another big trade. Well, not really a big trade, but Atlanta traded Isaiah Cartier, if that's how Cardinier, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. He's a second round pick from 2016. People say he probably won't even ever play. They pretty much traded the rights to him. Swapped. They also traded the swaps of 2025 and 2023 second round picks. I don't know why NBA teams just trade their picks out. I mean, these 2025 is like 7 years from now. How are you gonna even forget that you had those picks? They traded them. They swapped those picks and traded that player for Jeremy Lin. Um, he's probably gonna come in and be the backup for Trae Young. Which actually, I think he would be a good backup. He had a terrible injury. I think it was the first game last year for the Nets. He ruptured his patella. If that's how you pronounce it. But it was an awful injury. I wouldn't recommend looking up the video. But I think if he can return, he's always been kind of that backup player, low quality. He can be like an average starter even. So behind Trae Young, I think that would be a good fit. He's got some experience, veteran presence. I like that. Which brings us to the point. Atlanta is aggressively trying to trade Dennis Schroeder. I mean, they have two point guards on the roster now. They invested a high pick in one, and they also, they have Dennis Schroeder. So he's even voiced his opinion that he wanted to go. He wanted to leave before. Not too sure which teams are in the running for him, but this will be interesting because this is probably a trade that's going to come within the next couple days, I would imagine. And besides that, rumor has it OKC has been aggressively trying to trade Melo, and they don't have any takers. Which obviously they don't. Nobody wants to pick up that insane contract for Melo, who's probably going to be third, fourth best player on the team, maybe. A lot of teams are going to say he might need to come off the bench. Like if he were to go to Houston, they for some reason some people are reporting that he might even come off the bench and play with the second unit with Chris Paul. Um, I really don't know, but I think something with Melo will happen within the next few days. This is kind of just a waiting game. We're going to be waiting for Dennis Schroeder. We're going to be waiting for Melo. We've been still waiting for Kawhi Leonard. Yesterday, a report came out that they've been trying to trade him, but they're not getting anything that they want for him because every team knows that that he's not going to re-sign unless he goes to LA. So why would anybody besides LA trade for him? And on the flip side, why would LA give up big assets for him if they know he wants to come over next year? Um, I mean, the only thing about that is this is exactly what they did with Paul George, and it ended up being wrong, which is kind of dumb. Like, I think they should try to give up not too many assets, not like a Knicks Carmelo trade. They should give up just just enough to get him. You know, if you have to part ways with like either Brandon Ingram or Kuzma, just or and future picks, something like that. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say trade both of them or Josh Hart or nothing like that, but you got to try to make this deal happen. That way, because what if he gets traded to the Sixers and the Sixers end up going deep into the playoffs next year, maybe making it to the finals, and then he's like, you know what, I think I can win a chip with him, and they have the money in cap space, so he re-signs there next year. Then the Lakers give up on him. They're gonna have to aggressively try to sign Klay Thompson or Durant next year, but what player on the Warriors is gonna want to go to their rival? LeBron has been the Warriors' rival since their dynasty began, and him going out west doesn't change that. I mean, their team. I don't think anybody on their team would want to go. That's like Jordan going and playing for the Pistons. I just don't see that ever happening. But tell me what you think. Feel free DM me, comment on one of my videos. Tell me your opinions. I want to hear. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you either later on tonight if anything happens, or you'll probably see a video from me tomorrow as well. Have a good one.